While I've read many of the comics, I've failed to get my hands on the novels. So when the opportunity arose, for a mere $3, I grabbed one of the novels up. When I went and looked at Goodreads, there was an unfortunate lack of reviews with which to judge the book, so I decided to read it and write my own review. My hopes before reading it was that it would provide an expansion of what I already know about the universe, internal dialogue for the characters, further character development, and maybe I'll see something I haven't seen before, maybe something in the comics I missed. Overall, I think if you're not a fan of the comics, this book will not appeal. The writing isn't super strong, but it isn't awful. The descriptions of the elves are weak in my opinion, but if you read the comics, that isn't that important because you already know what they look like. There are a smattering of illustrations done by Wendy throughout the book, which may help newcomers with the series, but it's pretty clear that the main audience is their fans. A small nitpick about the artwork and its placement. It didn't always line up with what was going on in the story. For example, the image of the healing comes 5 pages before the actual healing. As a fan, I struggle to pull any images out of my mind other than the ones I'd already seen in the comics. Whether that's a flaw in the writing or just I've become so sure of what everything should look like is up in the air. However, I didn't feel the descriptions matched with the images I'd seen in the comics, but maybe that's just me. I feel some of the characters are less compelling in the novel than in the comic. Moonshade, for example, lost some of her appeal in the novel. She seems less strong. Meanwhile, other characters are more compelling. Rainsong is a character that in the comics I paid little mind to, but she gets more of an opportunity to shine in the novel. There were a few gems of information that you couldn't glean from the comics alone, which made this book, for me, worth the read. I did enjoy that I got to see the world from different perspectives. I feel the characters who didn't get a lot of attention in the comics were given more attention in the novel, although some fan favorites did not get as much time center stage. In my opinion, this book gets a B for comic book fans, and I don't know, maybe a C, C minus for people who don't know the series. I really would suggest it for comic book fans, but if you don't really like reading novels, you may not get much out of it anyway.